Welcome to the last video in my $1,000 flatbed for a Toyota Tacoma. Right here I'm working on the mounting brackets. It's a 3x3 angle, 3/16 thick. Just getting them welded to the frame and then get them mounted to the truck. The mounting points on the Tacoma they're not the same distance apart. There's 6 mounting locations. At the front they start about 39 inches apart, and then by the back you're about 34 inches apart. So it took a lot of figuring to get these in the right place.
So I've been at this for several hours working on all these mountain brackets. I didn't film it all, but it was not easy to get them all lined up, and got them all welded on there now. Not fully welded, I'll have to take it off and do a little bit, but now I'll put the main frame on these 2 frame rails.
So here I'm welding up the headache rack. We did a lot of fitting on the truck to make sure it was right and it wasn't blocking the third brake light, and getting all the angles correct on both sides before I did all this work welding it up here. I didn't record any of that though, but it took us several hours to get it figured out how to put it together.
stake pockets here, ground down and marked out. And then these are actually for a D-ring. Bolt in place D-ring that pops up, pop-up D-ring. So they'll weld here and the D-ring will go through the deck and bolt down. So I've got everything laid out here. I've got all my stake pockets and I've got 4 of these just at the back because the dog box will be at the front. So I'm gonna start tacking these on and then I'll fully weld them all in. So now I've gotten all this tacked on here, these plates for the tie downs and my stake pockets here. Got everything tacked on. I'm just gonna get it all welded up now, and then the next step will be probably the decking on top. We'll cut it. Probably won't attach it yet though. So I got this 4x8 sheet of 14 gauge diamond thread. It's gonna take, I've got 2 sheets of it. There's another sheet over there behind the camera. Cut this one 75 inches. It'll be this back half up to here. And then I'll cut a small piece for the front and putting that joint right over this center support here, or this support that's about 2 foot up. So I gotta cut this one 75 inches long. So what I'm gonna be cutting this with is this is an Eastwood mini metal saw. It's got like a 4 3/4 inch blade. It does a cold, I guess not cold cut, but basically a carbide cut, or I believe it's carbide tip blade. It's like a circular saw, but it works great. I really like this thing. If you're doing metalworking, highly recommend getting one of these. Other people have like there's a Milwaukee, basically a circular saw in Milwaukee with a bigger blade, and I've heard those are good too. This is a little cheaper. I think this is less than $100. Was when I bought it 4 or 5 years ago. But this one we used to cut it. It's very loud. That's the only thing. So, I definitely made a mistake there. This is a 1/2 inch drill, and you gotta have a T-handle on it to control it. This thing went flying about 2 or 3 feet over here, out of my hands. I'm glad I didn't get hurt. It was when it contacted right here. It caught and it took it. But I've made work with a T-handle off of my grinder here, and I had to change the bolt out to fit the bolt that was in this. But I've got a T-handle so I can have the control I need to drill these holes. Let's try this again.
So these are the holes for the flush mount D-rings that I'm drilling here. I just had to drill 4 holes in the decking. So I'm working on the back of the truck here. I've got everything laid out over here on the steel, the lights. There's some square lights here. It's a little harder to see them. And same thing on that end. Got a Everlast Power Plasma 62i. I'm gonna be cutting these with. This is actually the second one I've made. The first one, it looks good. Those holes are not the right size and they're too close together. So that was a sucky mistake. I drilled all the holes in that one rather than using the plasma cutter. And that was real frustrating when I figured out the lights wouldn't fit. They were too close together and the holes were actually the wrong size. I measured the lights and the gaskets are quite a bit bigger than the lights. So don't make that mistake. Get a template from online, similar to this one, that shows you the right size for the lights. And I actually took these and I put them in AutoCAD and put them on the 45-degree angle and spaced them the right spacing, and then laid this over and made a cut, and then traced over the cut lines with, I just cut it with a razor knife, cut through the paper, and they look like they're laid out pretty well. So we're gonna get them cut here with the plasma cutter, and hope they all fit, because I don't want another one of those. That's just scrap at this point. I mean, I'll probably cut it up and use it for something, but real frustrating. Well, I didn't get any filming done tonight, but we got a lot done on the flatbed. Let me show you here. So we got these other supports added here. Just wanted to make sure it went all the way to the outside. Did the same thing on that side. Got this all tacked down. Got those back pieces tacked down. Finished cutting on the back panel there.
mostly just a lot of welding left. A little bit of cutting here on the sides. Add some 4-inch tall sides to it here. That stick down 4 inches. So it's getting close here. We're kind of on a deadline here. So this is what we're doing today. Got this decking on here. I'm just mostly trying to weld everything out. Hard to do from underneath, just doing about 1-inch stitch welds, 6 inches apart. So pretty much what we're doing today, it's mostly a lot of welding. Got to get both these pieces of decking down and those two at the back of the truck. So a little update on the flatbed here. I've mostly just been welding out these corners. It's taken forever, and my welder is getting hot, and I'm having to wait on it to cool down. So it's just taking a while. I've got most of this side to do. Also added these little corner plates here. Just to hide the wiring and add a little more support to the front. So here's the flatbed all finally finished up. We probably finished this about a month ago, so it's a little bit dirty, but just kind of a final walk around here. So this is how the dog box is attached. I built this bracket here, just welded 2-inch by 2-inch tubing, and then welded these trailer hitches on here, and it bolts on there. And this part stays on the dog box, and you can just slide it off easy. And then there's also this other attachment point here, just to hold down the back. The front's held down pretty good, but the back would bounce without these other pieces. But did the same thing on both sides, make it easy to remove and easy to put on, quick mounting and removal.
So this is the cost breakdown on the flatbed. We've got the 2x2 tubing, $134.28. The 14 gauge diamond tread, that was $236.76. The 4-inch flat stock was $30.18. There's a little bit of tubing there that was free for the main frame underneath, and then some miscellaneous tubing is about $120. Then purchased pretty much from Amazon on everything. The weld-on stake pockets were $30.99. Flush mount D-ring was $38.99. The trailer hitches were $35.99. The tail lights and backup lights were $37.99. The LED pods were $25.19. The corner lights, the 3/4 inch corner lights, were $8.45. The LED license plate lights were $7.99. Load resistors for turn signals were $8.99. The stake pocket D-rings, those were $67.99. The backup camera was $45.99. And then a roll of welding wire was $45.93. Paint about $50, and then the tax on all that, and come to a grand total of $990.51. So right under $1,000 there. I hope you enjoyed this build series as much as I did. Please like, comment, and subscribe, as that helps me get more views. Thanks again for watching.